So this is the last, you read it correctly, of the Sunday live call-in shows. So we're going to take it out with a doozy.
Something big is spooking residents. Multiple people have claimed to see a large furry animal trudging through the woods.
I literally could see him from all the way over here. I started hearing it. It was very large, and it was running so fast.
Of sorts for campers in Taos County. The Sheriff's Office is sharing safety tips on social media to protect yourself from
Bigfoot.
I saw something out of the corner of my eye off the side of the road in a culvert.
It's not like a bear, and it wasn't like a coyote. I've never seen anything like that.
No details, big, like 10-foot foam, big. It freaked out, hit in the leg.
I don't think it registered what it was.
What's the likelihood that there are big animals that have gone undetected by scientists and by trained observers?
And I've had my mic turned down that whole time, so I'll repeat. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope you can hear me now. Gee whiz, might as well mess everything up on the last Sunday night. So, it is the last of the Sunday call-in shows, and let me explain why. It's not the last of the call-in shows, okay? It's just the last of the Sunday, right? Like, I got a bunch of stuff coming up. I'm going to Canada the week after next. And this is a lot to do because I got a show basically every couple days. So the Sunday show, and then I got to book a guest and get ready for the Wednesday show. And then between all that, have filmed and edited and have the Friday show ready to go, right? And so it's a whole lot. We may come back to a Sunday show eventually as the show gets bigger, and maybe I can get some help. But for now, I'm going to have to pick between Wednesdays and Sundays. And Sundays, football season's coming up, people. I know a lot of y'all are rabid about your teams. I'm rabid about my team. Miami Dolphins, bro. Miami Dolphins for life, right? So I don't want to miss none of them games, just be honest with you. And not that I will. I may end up missing one game, but I think we could go back to Sundays in the future. The Wednesdays seem to be better for everybody, though. We get way more viewers on Wednesdays. And so the Sunday call-in will move to that. The good news is the show's going to become a 3-hour show. Okay? So we're going to have a guest in that first hour and a half. And then the second hour and a half will be call-ins, you know? So, and maybe the guests to hang out, and maybe I can figure out how to get it to where the guests can hear y'all's questions so y'all could ask them questions. But these 2-hour shows are, the thing is, we end up peaking right there at the end of the damn show every single time in viewers and everything else. And then I got to cut it off, right? Because it's 2 hours. But Wednesday nights, we could go 3. And maybe that will become 4. I really think that could end up becoming a 4-hour Wednesday stream. Because here's the deal. Wednesdays, if we start at 8 here in California or the West Coast, it's 5, right? So if we run till 10, that means we ran till 7 out there. So do we go 8 Eastern to 11? Or do we go 7 Eastern to 10? Please, guys, if you'll let me know in the comments what you would say. Because I'm kind of hung up there. Do I start earlier? I'd rather not. but I will. Bigfoot, Richie B. Yes, but because here's the deal. Like, there was some other big shows on Wednesday nights, and when I started, people were like, "Hey, you don't want to go up against that guy. You don't want to be the damn Dolphins ain't moving to St. Louis." You hush your mouth. But they were like, "You don't want to go up against that guy." People we have kind of eclipsed here on this program with the chat and all that. We have kind of eclipsed all those other shows that are going live in the Bigfoot space on Wednesday nights. So Wednesdays seem to be better for everybody. And it would be much easier because then if I couldn't book a guest, because here's another thing, these people are flaky, bro. Some of these people I've had canceled time and time again. And it leaves me standing around with no guest, and now I've got no topic. So we got Charles saying 8 to 11. But yeah, he means 5 to 8. I'm not doing it 5 Eastern, bro. Maybe you mean 5 California time, West Coast. So that would be 8 to 11. Yeah. That seems about right, and then if we add another hour on, I'll go 7 to 11. It would be cool eventually if we could get this to where this was the main show. I did this on Wednesdays and then also did it on Fridays. News coming up. Because of the Wednesday, we're moving it to Wednesdays. We'll have Zuli this Wednesday with her story about the UFOs she encountered and her NDE. It almost sounds like a astral projection. It seems like she went to heaven, but she wasn't in a setting where she was about to pass away, right? So I wonder if it was an astral projection, or if I honestly, I was talking to my UFO buddy about this, and he's like, "Bro, it sounds like she was abducted, and they put that shit in her head." With seeing the other UFOs, I could see this being the case. But we're going to talk about that, see what she thinks. I don't want to spoil nothing, so please don't start telling your thoughts now, Zuli. And then after that, we'll go to call-ins, and we'll also do the giveaway we'll raffle off 2 tickets to the LBL expedition for this October. So everybody get ready. We're gonna make a bang on Wednesday nights. We're also gonna throw it on other platforms too, so that way we can bring more people into this audience, and we can, get more people watching. Right? There is a line for call-ins. It will be open soon. Xander saying, is there a line for call-ins? Yes, the lines, Xander, are closed right now while I rant, but I will open them soon. I've already got a text. But we do have somebody. Remember last weekend there was a lady in the chat named Leah that had a Dogman encounter. I'm going to call her in just a second. We're gonna get that once I get my stuff out of the way. BPD, you watch your mouth, son. The Missouri Dolphins do not sound wonderful. I don't know what that's about. Let me tell you, it would be oh, hold on. Had a guy asking if he should call in, and I want this guy that just asked to call in. I want him to do an in-person interview in the cave with me. He's close. He's like 45 minutes away. Be way better conversation. But yeah, so if the Miami Dolphins were in Missouri, it'd be way better because then they could possibly be good. You see, there's not jack shit to do in Missouri. I've been there. I know these things. The problem with Miami is there's cocaine, and that is what it is. There's strip clubs and there's cocaine and alcohol, and it's everywhere, all hours of the day. So it makes it hard for the team to stay focused. And so therefore we suck. It's not like we're the Cleveland Browns and we just suck because we're inept in every single department. We just have a problem, with giving people money who've never had money before and turning them loose in the damn zoo. Anyways, okay. So this upcoming week, I'm interviewing a lady who's got some footage out of the LBL. It looks like a Dogman. I don't know what it is. Could be a Bigfoot. It's very unclear, but it's cool. It's thermal footage. Really cool. So going to have that up for you the weekend of May 8th. Or no, I'm not. May 8th is going to be the executive producer from The Proof Is Out There. She will probably follow that. I interviewed Craig from Curly's Canyon again. I'm going to release that this upcoming Friday. That following week, I will be joining Les Stroud in Canada with Robert from Cabin in the Woods. And there's another guy, I'm not sure who he is, but he has an app. It's like a Bigfoot camera app. So there's like all these cameras out in the woods, and you can get on the app and watch Bigfoot or look for Bigfoot, I guess. So it's going to be good. I'm going to be up there a week in Canada. Never a place I wanted to go, but it's a place I'm going to go. My wife told me today that I have to go. So going to come back with like a mini documentary out of that, right? It's probably going to be about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, a documentary, maybe an hour. I don't know. I'm going to film everything, make my own content. So I'm going to make a film based off of my interpretation of the whole trip, right? Interacting with all these people. Although Les is a friend of mine, so it's going to be cool to see him. Again, we always have a great time. And we're going to his house. We're going to his house in Canada. He has his house out on an island, like in the middle of nowhere. Got to go in by a boat. And so, not this Wednesday's show, but the following Wednesday, I'm going to try to go live the Wednesday night show from his place. If we're not doing anything, if we're doing something, there's got to be a Wednesday show. So what I may do is have a guest host for that week. Probably Richie B. Probably let him host the show just for the night. Christina Cryptids, we're still going to do Fridays. So it's going to be Wednesday and Fridays. We're just getting rid of the Sunday show because I'm going Bigfoot in a bunch now. I've got a couple of different projects that I'm getting into. Anybody that's seen last week's episode when we talked about, dredging the river for bones and things like that. That's going to happen. And I honestly, really, to do the Bigfooting, I need my weekends. I need the Sunday nights. So that way I'm not pressed to get home by a certain time. But we will extend it to 3 hours. We're going to have a guest in the first hour and a half. And then the second half will be the call-ins. Okay. because seriously, guys, 3 shows a week was crazy idea, and I've been able to do it since November. But I'm telling you, I'm also trying to, like, during the week, I got people coming to my house to interview, or I'm doing Zooms with people and interviewing them. And then I have to edit that, right? And now we are on all the podcasting platforms. We're on Spotify. We're on iTunes, iHeart, everywhere you find your podcast. The Bigfoot Underground is there, and new episodes drop at 5 a.m. on Thursdays. So that's another thing. And y'all, if y'all notice, you haven't seen shorts really from me because I haven't been putting shorts out. But that's changing too. So I'm taking away. It is on Podbean as well. Everything Count Chocula. But I'm getting rid of the Sunday show, extending the Wednesday, but adding more stuff. More stuff is going to be coming to you guys. But yes, hey, if y'all listen to Spotify, Podbean, whatever, go subscribe and please leave a review of the show on there. It will help me get placement in that. So more people can find the show, right? But what you're going to see on there is the back catalog, going out. And then you're also going to see these videos dropping on Les Stroud's channel. So starting next month in May, Bigfoot Stacy is going to be releasing some stuff every Friday, whether it be a podcast, one of the documentaries I've made, investigation video, deep dives, whatever. There will be content coming out on his channel. And it's just a way to kind of grow this show to a larger audience. But because it's back catalog stuff as well, right? I'm like 70 shows into this thing already. And so we're going to start putting some of them on his channel to try to drive some viewers this way. But yes, no more Sundays for the time being. And maybe that comes back. It's just a whole lot. I've got to get a team of people. I've got to get people who are willing to work for not shit. So I don't have the money to pay you. But we got to get. And another thing, I had some buddies who had their YouTube demonetized, right? And so when they demonetize you, they also mess your algorithm up. It kills your channel. Kills it. For no reason, no apparent reason. So I want the show to continue. We may be going on Rumble. I don't know about that. Maybe going on X. We definitely won't be going on TikTok. I'm too old for that shit. Everybody's like, oh, you got to get a TikTok. You got to get a TikTok, bruh. So everybody, if y'all could, if you got the time, go to your favorite podcast app, look up the Bigfoot Underground, leave a rating and a review, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Really would help out a lot. It would help in me growing this so then I can actually get some people to help me work on this and we can put out a better show. Because I got another podcast I'm going to do called Still Here. And then there's also there's a chance to do a conspiracy show, like a daily news conspiracy show, and a chance to get a real studio. So, big things coming, so we'll see. All right. Well, people, I'm going to go ahead and call our first attorneys on. I'm going to go ahead and call our first call in. This is a call back. Richie B, who went from 13,000 plus views to 7 to 1,000? Pop Smoke, TikTok is for kids. Okay, we're going to go ahead and call Leah. She has a wild ass Dogman story. And she talked about it last week in the chat. Didn't get her on. Bluetooth. We're connected. Okay, let's give her a call and get this Dogman story rolling.
Hello.
Leah?
Yep, that's me.
You are on the Bigfoot Underground. How you doing?
Awesome. I'm good. I'm just nervous.
Don't be nervous. So here's the deal about that. Listen, you're not standing up in front of a bunch of people at the mall and telling your story. You're telling your story right now to people who want to hear it. So you know what I mean? There's no reason to be nervous. Now, if you were standing up in the mall and telling people about your Dogman story, I'd be like, yeah, you might want to be nervous.
Start throwing stuff at me.
Yeah. But so go ahead and tell us kind of what happened and where it happened, all that stuff. Let's get into it.
Okay. My name's Leah, and I live in Texas. I'm just south of Dallas-Fort Worth. And this happened in around March of 2024. And it's kind of embarrassing because I was dumpster diving. Oh, God, don't ask. Anyways, I found a lot of good stuff, but I don't do food or anything like that. Gross. So we'll just go with that. But,
hey, seriously, the retail places will throw out brand new shit that's just been returned.
Oh my gosh. Like I told you, like this one pet place that I was at that night before, they had thrown out like $3,200 worth of brand new dog collars, leashes, and harnesses. And with the tags, and I don't know if they were getting rid of all the inventory, that brand, I don't know, but I put it on Facebook Marketplace and sold it for $750.
Hey, there you go.
So yeah. Anyway, so so I was dumpster diving one night, and let me just tell you, I have a lifted Jeep. I'm only 5'2", and my Jeep has like a 3.5-inch lift on it, so it's kind of hard to get into.
How do you get into? I was going to ask, how do you get into it? You got a little rope or something?
I thought about putting like a little step or something on there, and I've got the row bars at the bottom. Mm-hmm. But that's still really high. But anyway, so it's a lifted Jeep. It's really high. So I always carry a ladder with me to go up to the dumpsters and stuff because I'm short. And so that way I can get not in the dumpster, but I have like a little grabber stick. But anyways, long story short, I was checking out this pet store dumpster, and it was at night. I don't know what time it was, maybe 9 or 10 or something. It was dark. I know that because I don't dumpster dive until after the stores close and it's dark.
Right.
And so, because I don't want to get caught. That's the worst thing, is getting caught. Because then you have to do some splaining,
Right.
You got some splaining to do. Why are you digging in a dumpster? Anyway, so, so I was digging in this dumpster, and then all of a sudden I heard this voice say, "You need to leave." Now, I don't know whether it was this creature talking to me or if it was like a guardian angel or what, but I know it wasn't like a voice behind me, like if someone was talking behind me, because that would have startled me and freaked me out. But it was like a voice in my head, like telepathic or whatever. And so I got down off the ladder and I walked to the end of the Jeep, and I looked down the back of the strip center, and I saw this huge dog about, I don't know, 100, I'm not good with distance. I'd say 100 feet away. And I just thought to myself, damn, is that a King Corso or a Cane Corso or whatever they call it? Because it was massive. I mean, it had the hugest head. It was on all fours. It was standing up. and the light was behind it. So I didn't see any glowing eyes or any eye color or anything like that. But I just know it was solid black, and I could see the ears pointing up. And all of a sudden, my stomach just dropped, and I'm like, oh, shit, yeah, I'm about to get attacked or something. So I ran back to the dumpster, grabbed the ladder, and threw it into the back of the Jeep, shut the door, and when I turned around to see if it was still there, it had closed the distance about halfway. And now it was like a side on its, like, facing me from the side. It was still on all fours. And I sent you a picture of kind of what it looked like. But yeah, it really scared me. Right. Really, really scared me. And I remember it was like flashcards in my head. Like, okay, is this a person leaning over, touching the ground? No. Is it a black guy? No. Is it someone wearing all black? No. And then all of a sudden I realized, I'm like, holy crap, dogmen are real. I mean, I had only heard about it one time. And that's when I was like, holy crap, this is real. And then that's when I heard you need to leave, or before it was you need to leave. And then at that point it was leave now. Man, I jumped over there to get up in the Jeep and my dang legs wouldn't work. My legs were like noodles on a workout day. You know, have you ever worked out leg day and then all of a sudden you go up and downstairs and they don't work?
Yeah. It
was terrible.
So hold on. When you said that, like, do you think it was, you say your legs didn't work? Did you think it was like from just the fear?
I think it was fear. I think my body shut down.
Okay.
And that's so disappointing because I always thought if, fight or flight, I'm going to be a fighter, and I was so disappointed that my legs weren't working. And so I was trying to climb up in the Jeep. My legs weren't working. I was trying to get them up on that step bar. I was grabbing at the steering wheel, trying to pull myself in that way, grabbing at the gear shift. I couldn't get to that good enough to pull myself in. And I felt like I was about to pass out. Like I was just having a major panic attack. Mm-hmm. And I was just imagining this thing closing in on me. And I was like, Jesus, help me. And I don't know if that's what did it or not, but all of a sudden I started regaining a little bit of feeling in my legs, and I was able to barely climb up in the Jeep. And I slammed that door and I backed out of there and I hauled ass. And in hindsight, I'm like, oh, once I was in the car, I should have felt safe. I should have taken a picture. Or why didn't I look to see where it was at? Or why didn't I look in the rearview mirror? Man, I was so scared. I was just trying to get the hell out of there. But anyways, yeah, it's embarrassing because, you want to believe that in some kind of a situation like that you're going to be able to fight and then have your legs not work. That's pretty sad. Yeah.
I had a guy, I interviewed his son and him, and he told me if he sees a Bigfoot that he's just going to run it down. And
right. Yeah.
I was like, that's easy to say.
Hopefully he doesn't have jello legs like me.
Yeah.
He'll end up being Bigfoot, dinner or something.
Right. And that was, I think when people say that, I think they really believe themselves. I think they believe that when I see it, I'll be okay. Cause like, that's what I thought second time. If I ever see one again, I'll be fine. Hell no.
I don't ever want to see one again.
Right.
And it's like, I never believed in this stuff. I always thought, I'm going to be honest, I always thought people were like making up stories, trying to get attention, or maybe they were on drugs and hallucinating or something.
Right.
I mean, I've watched like every Bigfoot show in the world, but that's like movies, because I always enjoyed like getting scared Bigfoot movies, but I never thought they were real. Mm-hmm. But now I know. It's like, if Dogman's real, then Bigfoot has to be real.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's too many credible people out there like yourself that have had, a situation where they've had an occurrence, or, what do they call it? Type A, type B, whatever, where it's like right there in front of them, and there's no denying that.
So Okay. Do you watch Monster Quest?
I think so. The guy had like a comb over hair.
The new one, they have all kinds of different people.
The guy that is the producer, he's kind of funny. I think he's got like blonde hair. It's kind of like a comb over or something. But yeah, I think I watched Monster Quest.
Anyways, they had a Dogman report from Dallas, Texas. And so I was just wondering, if you had heard that and knew maybe how close you were to that. When was this encounter?
It was in like March of 2024.
Okay. Now, have you been back to that
Dogman
dumpster?
Encounter. No, I have not. No.
If more corporations would just hire dogmen to protect their dumpsters.
And I even thought maybe he was like mad because I was going in his dumpster, because a lot of times they put like brand new bags of dog food and a lot of times they'll rip them open and dump them in there because they're turds. And I can see if there's a recall, but a lot of times it might just be a return. I don't know why they don't donate that stuff.
Oh,
but
dude,
I thought,
like
maybe
Walmart,
that Dogman was going to that dumpster. I don't know.
Walmart in general. I used to work at Walmart. They throw away so much food every day that's not bad. It's just the sell-by date went out. That doesn't mean it's bad. It just means they got to sell it by this date, so you got 14 days to eat it.
Yeah, I found some crazy stuff. I found brand new grills. I found portable air conditioner. I mean, all kinds of weird stuff, like thrown in stuff, and I just clean it up and resell it. I make sure it works, and I just resell it. But
let me ask you a question since we're on the dumpster diving. What's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you while dumpster diving? Well, besides that, have you ever like opened it up and there been somebody in there? I got questions.
Well, I got caught once by the police, and I almost got in trouble because it's illegal in the city I live in. The next city over, it's not, but the one that I'm in, it's illegal to dumpster dive. And so it was me and my cousin, and we were checking out. It was a Joann's dumpster before they went bankrupt. And man, that's probably why they went bankrupt. You wouldn't believe all the stuff they would throw away. It was crazy. They wouldn't even break it. I mean, it was all brand new stuff. And so her son was in the car. My nephew, I call him my nephew, but he's really my cousin. But Aiden was in the car, and all of a sudden I heard somebody say, ma'am, you need to come out from the dumpster. And I looked at my cousin Emma, and I looked towards the car because I couldn't see the car because we were behind like the wall that surrounds the dumpster. And I'm like, Aiden, shut up. That's not funny. Ma'am, come out from the dumpster. And I'm like, Aiden, I'm serious. It's not funny. We'll be done in a second. Ma'am, this is the Mansfield police. You need to come out from the dumpster. It was really the police.
Right.
I was like, oh, shit. That was pretty embarrassing. But yeah. And he was like, what are you doing? And I just told him, I said, you wouldn't believe the stuff they throw away. And we're just checking dumpsters. We're not making a mess. We're not doing anything like that. He's like, well, you can't be here at this retail shopping center. They don't want people going to the dumpsters. I'm like, okay, cool. We're out. And he let us go. But that was scary.
Well, it's always better to be honest with the police.
Yeah.
At least that's the approach I've always used.
Yeah, true.
Unfortunately, I'm usually telling them I'm looking for Bigfoot. And they're like, what? Yeah. And I'm like, bro, just Google my name, or then I'll pull out my tattoo. I'm like, I'm really here looking for Bigfoot. Like, no reason to be alarmed. I know it's 3 a.m. and I'm walking a secluded road, but I'm actually out here looking for Bigfoot. And
that's true. Yeah.
They make their jokes, and they usually take a picture with me, and then they go about their way. So
yep. Yeah.
It works out.
When you start making up stuff or lying, that's when you're going to end up going to jail, because they can read right through that.
Yeah. And even if you have drugs on you, just be honest about it. As long as they're not like hard drugs.
Yeah.
A little bit of weed, they don't really give a damn most of the time, but I've seen people just make some shit up, and it's like, why didn't you just, like, you were just fishing or something like that? It's like, why did you make up a lie and say you had permission when you didn't? You know,
Yeah,
just
maybe
be
they don't have a
honest.
fishing license. Who knows?
Well,
People are just crazy.
what do you think these creatures are?
I don't know. I want to believe they're flesh and blood. I don't want to believe in the whole woo thing because that's just too much for my brain to handle.
Right.
The whole fallen angel Nephilim thing. But I mean, the whole telepathic. I don't hate it when people call mind speak or whatever. That just sounds so retarded. But anyways, when the telepathic,
Amen.
when I could hear, you know, you need to leave and then leave now, it was like a man's voice and it was clear.
Right.
And I remember when I heard the second time when I heard leave now, it was really stern. And so I don't know if that was a guardian angel talking to me, telling me to get the heck out of there, like I'm in a dangerous situation, or if it was that Dogman talking to me. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, I mean, too many people have had credible encounters where they are cloaking or it just disappears in front of them, or they see a little orb or something, and then all of a sudden they see the Bigfoot. I don't know.
Yeah,
really don't know.
My problem with the whole Dogman thing is I've spoken to people I believe. Right, like I believe your story. Your story has something that most people would probably be embarrassed. I know you were embarrassed about the dumpster diving, but
Yeah.
you tell that story anyways. Like, I don't know why you would be. In my opinion, like I'd be more embarrassed to telling somebody I saw a Dogman than I was dumpster diving. But
yeah. Well, I haven't told my family or anything. They would think I was just loony,
Right.
you know,
yeah,
crazy. But
you know, but when you talk to somebody who you believe, it's like that means I could run into one of these things, and that's why I hope you're all just lying to me, because I promise you, I have no desire to see a Dogman. That shit.
I definitely think the Dogman thing has like government ties to it. I think,
Right.
like, because there's that one guy that got in trouble because they said that he killed their asset or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That really makes me wonder. And that guy I think is pretty credible. I forget his name, but
Right.
I don't know about Bigfoot and the whole cloaking and all that stuff. I mean, it'd be nice if they were just little furry forest friends and they're just gentle giants, but I don't think so.
No, you can't.
I think they're all evil. I know there's been some circumstances where they saved a child that was lost in the woods and then they brought it back to the family.
Yeah, but at what cost?
that might have been a good day or something. I don't know.
Well, you know,
maybe they weren't hungry. I don't know.
With like, because I border on that. Is all this stuff demonic or some type of, you know, like aliens and ghosts? It's all connected. It's all the same.
Yeah,
you know.
But I definitely think the government already knows about it. They've already got bodies. They've already got all that stuff. And you know, a couple of years ago, there was someone that said that they killed one and all this stuff, and everybody was upset when they found out it was a hoax. What if it wasn't a hoax? What if the government got to them and shut them up? You know.
Could be.
I think people have killed him. I think the only way to kill him is with a headshot, to be honest. So, you know, if the zombie apocalypse hits, I'm going to be practicing for headshots only. But because from what I've heard, you know, you hit them in the chest and all this different stuff, and they don't even react.
Right.
Or they might scream, but then they run off. It's like the only ones I've heard of dying are the ones that get shot in the head.
Yep.
So.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to share this story with us. It's great, you know.
Thank you.
I hope you never see
I feel
one
like
again.
a weight's lifted off of me a little bit, you know, because you question your own sanity when you see these things.
Well, you know,
I
know your family would make fun of you and your friends and all that shit.
Yeah.
But like, and you got to understand, coming from their standpoint, they haven't seen what you saw.
Mm-mm.
They don't know. So like,
and I hope they don't.
Yeah, exactly.
To be honest, I hope they never see one of those things because it scared the crap out of me.
You know, what if
literally scared the legs out of me, you know?
Right. And what if somebody told you that this same story happened to them? You would be like, come on, you're crazy. You know, you can't be mad at those people. But the people like here, you know, other podcasts, other places, some of them have had these same exact encounters that you have, you know, like, oh, wow, I got a guy in the chat now saying he's the one who shot a Dogman. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, email me.
Hopefully
Email me,
you shot it in the
buddy.
head.
Yeah, right. But there are places, and you don't need to feel like you got to carry it. You may not want to tell your family, but
no, it's actually kind of therapeutic to be able to tell your story and get it off your chest.
Right.
Because, especially with the group of people that have had the experiences, or even if it's just Bigfoot or something, you know, a cryptid experience. It's like you have a tribe of people that understand what you're going through. And it's hard to call in. I almost didn't. I talked to you on the phone the other day, and then I was like, oh my God, I'm losing my mind. There's no way I'm going to go on that. There's no way. And then you texted me today, are you still wanting to go on? I'm like, okay. And then when you were talking about people flaking out on you, I'm like, nope, I'm not going to flake out on them. I'm not going to be one of those flakes.
Well, hey, I appreciate it, because I don't understand some people. They'll book it. Like, I had one guy get mad at me because he stood me up twice, and then I didn't call him back. I was like, hell, you.
That was a flake.
Yeah, and then he's like, well, fine then, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay. You know, like, what do you want me to do?
Peace out, brother.
I can't
call into another show.
I got people, waiting, and it was for one of the Wednesday shows where he's like on camera and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, you were my guest, and now I don't have a guest. And what am I going to do? Good. But it happens. But anyways, Leah, I really appreciate it. And if you ever happen to run into a Dogman again,
or a Bigfoot or anything like that, you'll be the only one I call.
Please do. You got my number. So.
Okay. All right. Congrats on your channel. I think it's great. And up and coming things that you're talking about that are going to happen. That's just, I know everybody's praying that, you'll have success and everything. So you don't have to be an Uber driver anymore.
Hey,
Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh my God. And the main reason is so I don't have to leave my house that much. Like,
I know. How great would that be?
Like picking
just to interview people and not have to work like that. I know it's a full-time job, believe me.
Oh yeah.
I can't even imagine. But
yeah. The people pick up, you don't, because you read, like, there was a guy in Panama City that got shot and killed. 2 kids got in the car, shot him, threw him out the car, and drove around his car for a couple hours before they got caught. It's like, you never know who's sitting directly behind you. But not the most dangerous thing I've ever done. I do it during daytime hours, so I ain't trying to mess with that kind of stuff. Not that 3 a.m. picking up random people. No way.
Yeah, and then drunks that are going to throw up in your car and stuff. I mean, that's gross.
It's gross, but they'll pay you $250 if they puke in your car. So.
Well, come on then.
Yeah, I don't mind it that bad. well, Leah, thank you so much. Okay. And like I said, if anything else ever happens, give me a holler.
Okay. I will. Thank you so much, and have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
All right, everybody. Our first call in is in the books for the night. So we're going to go over here and turn these damn lines on so we can get some more calls. I should have had this waiting ready to go, but I didn't. Oh, the lines are on. Here we go. We got one from Maryland. Let's see who it is. You're on the Bigfoot Underground. Oh, hold on. Why didn't it connect? Okay. You're on the Bigfoot Underground.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing all right, buddy. How about yourself?
Doing okay.
So what you got? What's on your mind, brother?
Oh, dude, I got a lot going on mine. Actually, I'm a researcher here in West Virginia.
Okay.
I've had my own Bigfoot and skinwalker and crawler encounters. And I also collaborate with a guy in Jersey who's been dealing with a Dogman encounter that's nonstop going.
Nice. Well, do you want to talk about your encounter you had?
Yeah, I could talk about them.
Okay, well, let's hear it, buddy.
So, I don't even know if I'm on live or not.
You are. Yeah, you're on.
Okay. Gotcha. Sorry. So, I'm here in West Virginia, in the northeast part of West Virginia, in Morgan County, and I've had some. I've been into cryptids for a long time, and I've been, studying them and started to research them before I actually even had my my actual Bigfoot encounter, which was back in November. Before that, I actually had a bunch of other different crazy things that happened. Back in the summer, where I had I would call it a skinwalker encounter during the time of COVID, when I went out fishing with a friend of mine. We had a crazy experience that happened with that, where we went out and we were going fishing on the river down in Maryland. And when we got there, we saw a bunch of like these large dog tracks on the bank. And where this bank is particularly, you can't look up over it. Now, on top of the bank is actually a park where people could camp out and, cook out. And then behind it is all woods and mountains. And we were fishing on the bottom of the bank, and the bank's about, 15, 20 feet tall. So we saw these large tracks, and I'm like, hey, I'm telling my roommate at the time, I was like, you see these tracks? Like, these are some big dog tracks. Like, I've never seen dog tracks this big. And I own German Shepherds, so I know the breeds of dogs. I used to work at PetSmart and stuff. So I've never seen anything large like this. So we decided to, we wanted to night fish, for catfish in the river. And next thing you know, we start hearing like footsteps on top of the bank, but we hear this really heavy panting, like a dog panting, like really, really. Now I just triggered my dogs when I did that, but really, really heavy panting. And it's getting closer and closer, but we can't see above the bank what's actually coming towards us. We just can hear it, and we can hear it moving fast. So I stand up, he stands up, I pull out my knife. I'm like, well, if it's going to jump on us, game on. Like, we're going to fight it. And it just stops, just randomly stops. And we get like this eerie feeling. And I'm like, yeah, we got to get out of here. So we pack all our stuff and we start running up the hill to go to our car. And I look out to the field and I see a naked old man with long gray hair running across the field.
Hell yeah.
And where I'm walking, there's it's like a porta john that's like permanently built there. So it's like a little outhouse style.
Right.
So as I'm walking past it, I look around and I don't see him anymore. And I'm yelling at him. I'm like, yo, did you see the naked man? And he goes, what are you talking about? I was like, there's a naked man just ran across the field into the woods. He goes, no, I didn't see it. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, there was a naked old man with long gray hair that just ran across the field. And he's like, we got to get out of here. Well, in saying that, we started getting like this horrible feeling of like pure dread hitting us. And I'm like, dude, let's just get out of here. Like, I'm done with this. Like, whatever we heard and whatever the footprints we saw, like, I don't want to know what it is. So we left, and like, I didn't really think about it for a while until, I overheard someone talking about skinwalkers, and I was like, I wonder if that's what we really saw, that day back in 2020 when we went fishing. Like, if it really was a skinwalker, because it was just so random. Like, the footprints, hearing the large sounding of a canine above the bank where we couldn't see it, and then just randomly seeing a naked man running into the woods. I don't know, but going into that.
Okay, now hold on.
Where I live at.
Let me stop you before we move
Go
on.
ahead.
Was this an actual naked man, or are you talking about a Bigfoot?
No, I'm talking about a naked man.
Okay, so you just was out at the park and see some random ass crazy dude, or what do you think it was?
I saw some random naked man running across the field into the woods.
Okay, all right, we'll leave it at that then. That's wild, bro.
It's weird. It's crazy because, like I said, you hear the canine sounds above the bank. Like, you can't hear you don't see anything because the bank's so high up. I actually went back there about maybe 2 months ago because I was on the Cryptid podcast and I was talking to Daniel Hamilton when I was telling him this. I took photos of the whole place just to kind of give him like a layout of the scale of the whole thing, just so he could see what I was talking about. And he was like, yeah, you can't see above the bank, even if you stood up, because it's so tall. It's like 15, 20 feet tall from where you're on the bottom of the bank standing. So when we heard the canine sounds and the heavy panting, you could tell it sounded like a large canine, like just based on the panting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what really triggered us. Like, it freaked us out.
Right.
And, you know, when we started walking back up from the boat ramp up to the top where our car was, and I looked over to the right where the camping area is, which is a field, and then it goes into the woods. That's when I saw him running from like the bank side all the way to the woods. It was a naked man with long gray hair.
Okay, so
and it was just
with the dog panting. What do you believe? Do you believe this was just a naked man, or do you think maybe this was something that transformed and what you saw?
I think it was a shapeshifter.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was getting at.
I really do.
It kind of.
No, I really do think it's a shapeshifter.
Yeah. That's wild, bro.
There's a lot of in that particular area of Maryland, and I'll say the area is Clear Springs. There's a lot of stuff that pops up around there. I've heard people telling me different stuff around those areas where we were fishing at, that they've heard weird things happen or weird sounds. But it's a very eerie place in general, the particular area we were at. And it was weird. Just the fact that, like, I'm seeing this naked dude run across the field and then just poof, he's not there.
Right.
And it was just, I don't know. It was just so weird.
Yeah, I don't know what I would have done, man. That would have startled me, you know. But hey, maybe he was just wanting to party and you missed out on a great time.
I'm good. I don't want to party like that.
No doubt.
I'm good.
All right. So
I'm good.
What else happened to you? You said you had a Bigfoot story. I take it it's not as crazy as that.
Okay. So Bigfoot, let's go to Bigfoot. This happened back in November.
Now, hey, hold up. If you got more,
driving home.
If you got more shapeshifter stuff, let's continue to talk about Skinwalker.
I have a crawler. I think it's a crawler incident that happened with me and my nephews.
Oh, okay. Well, let's please go there. That's
okay.
We don't hear a lot of these. You know what I mean? We hear a lot of Bigfoot, and yeah, we'll get to your Bigfoot story. But you got something else? Let's hear it.
So here in where I'm at in West Virginia, and I'm coming to find out that there's more and more crawler witnesses around here that are more prevalent than I realized, especially now that I've been asking people and people have been telling me what's going on, even from the police officer who I spoke and told me about what he witnessed and what he encountered. So back in August of last summer, I had my two nephews at my house, and there's a local tunnel that's near my house called the Paw Paw Tunnel. Now you can look it up. It's known. It's a trail that people go down, and the tunnel has a history to it. It was built basically back in the 1800s to the 1900s. For the railroad that runs through West Virginia and Maryland. And I said, hey, you guys want to go we ate dinner. You know, they wanted to go out and do something because we were bored. So it was like 7 o'clock in the evening, but it was still daylight out. So I said, let's go to the hike. I'll take you guys to the Paw Paw Tunnel because I know you guys haven't been there. Now, I never told my nephews that I've had some weird things happen at that tunnel early in the morning when I used to take the dogs for a walk that, you know, just kind of eered me out, so I stopped going. But I was like, hey, you know what? It's more daylight. It's not early in the morning. I'll take them out. So I took my one German Shepherd with us. We're walking down to the tunnel. And the tunnel, I'd say it's about, I forgot how many feet. It's like 3,700 something feet long.
Oh, wow.
We're walking in the tunnel, and it's pitch black. Like, there is no lights in the tunnel except for what you can see at the end of it and what you are where you begin at. So once you go in, it starts getting darker and darker, and it gets very eerie. And on the left-hand side, it drops down about 15 feet, and there's a water reservoir for where they ran a canal to move material through when they were going through the mountain originally. So we're walking through it, and my dogs ahead of us. Now, I don't know why my dog didn't see what was going on, but I saw it. We're halfway through the tunnel, and I get this weird feeling, and I look straight ahead, and I see a head, like a humanoid head, poking out at the end of the tunnel. And I'm like, what is that? Now, granted, my nephews know that they have to walk in front of me because if anything happens, it gives me a chance to pull them away, and then I can do what I have to do to protect them. So I see the head poke out like 3 times, and I stop, and they hear me stop. My dog hears me stop. Everybody kind of turns around and looks at me, and they're like, hey, what's wrong? And I was like, nothing. Let's just keep walking. I see it again. And I stopped again, and I said, nope, we're turning around. And my youngest nephew goes, what's wrong? And I said, I'll tell you when we get out. We need to go. I don't want to go any further. Well, as I'm talking to them and they're facing me, I'm looking down. I can see this head poking out at the bottom of the canal now versus on top of where we were at on the bank part inside the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, either there's more than one or it somehow moved across and I didn't hear it. Well, while talking to them and I saw it poke out, you hear a splash. And my youngest nephew goes, did you hear that? And I said, yeah, we need to leave. So now you got this like big ripple moving through the water in the canal. You can see it. And I have them in front of me. We're walking. They kind of started power walking. I'm not running. I'm a big dude. I'm fluffy. I just look at it this way. Whatever comes at it, I'm going to take it on first.
Right.
They can go do what they got to do. So as we're walking out, I don't know why I got the urge. I just started praying. And I started praying very hard. And my oldest nephew goes, oh no, Anthony's praying. We need to get out. It's serious.
Yeah.
Because I remember hearing him say that. And they bolted out of there, left me in there. The dog went with them. I was left behind. So we get out the tunnel and my oldest nephew goes, so did you see the head? And I said, what do you mean the head? He goes, you didn't see it? I said, can we walk further? I want to get away from the tunnel because I don't know what's there. And I heard it jump in the water and I don't want to find out yet. So we walk about a quarter of a mile away from the tunnel and I stopped and my youngest nephew's like, what's going on? What's going on? So I looked at my oldest nephew and I said, tell me what you saw. He goes, I saw a head poke out like 3 times. I said, okay. He goes, yeah, it was at the top part where we were walking. It kept poking out. I didn't know what it was. He goes, and it freaked me out, but I didn't say anything. And then as soon as I noticed it, he's like, you said something. And then I didn't say nothing. And I just let you say what you had to say. I was like, okay. So he's like, what did you see? I was like, I saw a head poke out 3 times. It was a humanoid head. I can't make out features of it because all you see is light at the end of it. And then just the shadowing of the glare of the thing's head poking out. And he goes, what is that? I was like, I don't know. He goes, well, what really made you jump? I was like, because I saw it on the bottom part where the water was. And then you heard the splash. He goes, wait, you saw it again? I was like, yeah, I saw it on the top and on the bottom of the tunnel. That's what freaked me out. I was like, I don't know what it is. I was like, and I don't want to find out what it is because something happens to you, I can never live with myself.
Right.
And my youngest nephew's like, well, I didn't see it. He goes, well, what? I said, this is how it works. It's like, I go and I die, you all run away. That's how it works. That's all I can tell you. Uncle Anthony is going to take care of you guys. I'm not going to let something hurt you. And, we walked back to the car and they asked me a bunch of questions. And my older nephew knew I was in the cryptid. So he's like, do you think it was a crawler? Do you think? I was like, it could have been. I don't know. I said, but these are one of those things where you don't kind of mess around to find out. And I said, and I don't have anything on me to protect you guys but my body. So I was like, we're not taking the chance.
Right.
So we had that experience there. And then I found out from a lady in town that her son had something really bad happen down there on Halloween. People go down there at night.
Okay.
Because it's supposedly the tunnel is haunted.
Right.
And you can look up the information on that. It's actually there. People talk. There was people that died building that tunnel.
Mm.
But I spoke to the young man and he told me what he saw scared him so bad. And I can tell just by talking to him on the phone. And I said, well, what did you see? He goes, it looked like a elongated white pale. emaciated, like deer-like creature.
Hell
He
no.
goes, and all he knew is he wanted to get his family away from there. And when I spoke to his mom was telling me like she's never seen her son act that afraid
Right.
when they were down there. And I just thought it was interesting because it's the same area where we had that encounter.
Mm.
So,
Wow. What do you think these things are?
in the sense of what crawlers or people call them rakes as well, I have no clue. I think they're some type of cave creature that lives in the caves, just because the descriptions that people give are the big black eyes, kind of like the conical head, or not conical, but like teardrop face head, like their jaw is a little bit more different and they're very pale or gray-like. A lot of times people talk about them being real skinny with the long arms and long fingers.
Oh yeah, I've seen the descriptions of them.
Yeah. The one thing the characteristic that I know about them that I've researched more and people talk about is the clicking. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't hear any clicking sound, but I've had about 3 other people tell me around here in this area, they've heard clicking sounds and they've heard things moving in the woods that really freaked them out.
Right.
I had a Morgan County sheriff who was actually up in another county helping out during the winter, look for a missing person. And the only reason I asked him, if he ever saw anything crazy was because I hit a deer that night, totaled my car, and he was driving me home. So I said, what the heck? I'll ask him, because I kind of wanted more information based on my Bigfoot encounter I had in November. So I just that's what really kind of triggered me to start researching in my area.
Right.
More and more about what's going on. And he told me that when they were walking in the woods, trying to find this missing person, because he apparently went missing in the woods, they walked about 1.5 miles in the woods. They were following his trail because it snowed around that time when they were looking for him. And the tracks just stopped in the middle of the woods. Just randomly stopped. There's no more tracks to follow. He said that he heard something moving in the trees, not on the ground, but in the trees, and he heard this really loud clicking sound. So when he told me that, I actually made the sound that what people describe, which is the
right
sound. That's the sound I hear. I've never seen an officer's eyes open up so wide and his face just go pale when I did that. And I realized, like, okay, he clearly saw something or heard something. So he goes, well, what do you, he asked me, he goes, what is that? I said, be grateful you're alive to tell the story.
Right.
Because I don't know.
Wow.
It's things that I've heard about the crawlers is, a lot of times they scare you. They try to, push you out. They'll go after you. You'll hear the clicking and things like that. I've never heard of someone actually getting hurt by one. But, I think a lot of the missing people that go missing, it could be related.
Okay.
It could absolutely be related because, they just disappear.
Right.
But I think a lot of it falls in line to my Bigfoot encounter. So back in
let's talk about that.
November, I was driving home from work, and it was about 12:30 in the morning. I was driving Uber and Lyft, and I had a long day, and I live about an hour from where I was driving at. So about 30 minutes of my drive is all mountains and woods and just straight back roads with no lights. I drove a Subaru Outback. So these vehicles have headlights that actually move when you make turns.
Right.
So they can actually allow you to see when you're turning instead of just looking in a straight forward position.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where I'm driving at, the roads bend and wind, and you go up some hills, and you come down of them. And when you come down of them, sometimes they turn. So this particular area where I was at, I knew the property because the property that I was driving past has a bunch of pine trees that are about probably 20, 25 feet tall. But on the other side is an open field with a lake and this beautiful house that I wanted to purchase way back when. But I didn't have the money to do it. So I'm driving over this hill And just as I come over the hill to get to this point where you go around this bend here, my lights catch this shimmer right at the pine trees. When I say a shimmer, it was what caught my attention. So when the lights hit this Bigfoot that was getting ready to walk into the pine trees, its fur shimmered. And that's what caught my attention. And I looked directly at it as it's like getting ready to make the step into the pine trees. I could see the entire back end of this creature, which if I had to guess, it was about 9 feet tall, because these trees, like I said, are 20 to 25 feet tall. And it was standing halfway in height from them.
Right.
And I can see the entire back end of this creature. He wasn't a black or brown Bigfoot. The way I describe his color is a dark tan or a light brown, like cardboard. That was the fur that I saw. That was the type of fur. It wasn't like dirty or anything. It was very well neat in that moment of looking at him. And I could see his muscular structure from his entire back end. But the problem I had is when I saw him, I had like this bolt of lightning hit my chest. Now, I didn't understand what was going through. All I knew is whatever I felt like I was having a heart attack. And I accelerated further because I didn't want to stop and see more. It freaked me out to a point where I just sped up.
Right.
And I'm getting this extremely sharp pain in my chest. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's adrenaline or if it's fear. So I immediately start texting, even though I have no signal where I'm at. I'm texting people who I know are in the community. I know a gentleman named Swamp Dog, who
he's
I'm
sitting
very
here
close
telling
friends
me,
with. So I text him.
he's talking in the chat about, he goes, I know it's real because I could hear the fear in his voice or something like that.
Okay. So I reached out to him. I texted him saying, hey, I saw something. I don't know what I need to call you. So when I got home, I immediately called him, and I'm like freaking out on the phone. I'm going through this whole thing. I text Daniel Hamilton at the same time, but Daniel didn't reach out to me until the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So I spoke to him about the whole encounter because I was just spazzing out. Like, I didn't know how to process this. Let me put it that way. It was just not clicking in my head because it wasn't something that I was expecting to see. It wasn't something that I was really looking for. And what I saw, I didn't think this creature could be as big as what, like, you hear everybody talk about it, but like when you see it, it's different. It's a different experience. It's like, I didn't realize how big this thing was. And I'm looking at it like as I drive by it, and I'm like, this sucker's huge. That's like what went through my head. Like, this sucker is huge.
Yeah.
And it was hard for me to even talk about it a little bit because I realized, like, now, like, you have the encounter, and I told this to a couple people. The more I feel like I was talking about, the more crazier I felt. And I know why people now struggle so hard to actually talk about it, because it makes you sound crazy.
Oh yeah.
You hear the encounters, you listen to people, but like this when you see, like, I was just like, this is nuts. Like, I never thought I'd feel that way in any sense. So that's the Bigfoot encounter.
Well, that's a hell of an encounter. Now, do you think that chest pain you had was your body's reaction to fear, or do you think possibly it came from the creature you saw, like it was doing it to you?
So later on, as time went by, I believe that it was a reaction of fear.
Right.
Because nothing else explains it. It wasn't like an adrenaline rush or an adrenaline dump. It was just, I think when I saw it, I got so freaked out because of the size of it.
Yeah.
My body didn't know how to react to it.
Gotcha.
And that's what I truly believe. Like, it was just pure fear running through me because I didn't know what to expect. Like, I didn't realize like how big of a thing this thing is. And to, like I said, like, to see the muscular structure of this animal, this creature, animal, whatever you want to call it, like I said, I'm a big guy. This sucker could pick me up and throw me like a football.
Yeah, and that's what people don't realize. Like, and the people that's never seen one, they're like, "Oh, you sure it wasn't a guy in a suit?" It's like, motherfucker, there ain't no guys in those suits that big.
No. Anyone, look, people could sit here and say, "Oh, well, I don't believe," and it's a guy in a suit. That's a lie. Because what guy can be in a suit at 9 feet tall and be able to move fluently?
Right.
Move fluently through something.
Yeah, it's easy to Monday morning quarterback shit, especially if you don't believe in it, to poke holes and sit back. And,
right.
Well, yeah. But all I say to those people is, I hope it happens to you.
Right. And here's the other thing I told someone too. They're like, how do you explain the shimmer of the fur? You can't really reenact that.
Right.
You can't, no one would even think to try to reenact something like that.
Mm.
That doesn't click in me. Why would I want to, and then I said this was what would possess me in the first place to try to hoax something if I'm driving home in the middle of the dark and then try to create something like that to then reenact it? There's no way. There's no freaking way.
If people throw that shit out there and it's like, dude, I just made my life worse because now people that hear me think I'm a liar. And if they're in your community, now all the people in your community think you're a liar. And that's the downside to reporting this shit, man. People will think you're a liar regardless.
Oh, I get it.
I
get it. Trust me. And I'm a man of very high standards. I have a lot of respect with people who actually do know me. No, I do not just come out with this stuff. It's weird because when I told my older brother about this, he got excited. He's excited for me. He's like, dude, I can't believe it. You finally saw what you wanted to see. I was like, no, I wasn't trying to see it. Right. I really wasn't.
Well,
but so, even my brother knew,
So your buddy Swamp Dog, he won't call in, but he said he had he had an encounter, and he said you could tell me about it. So if you'd rather not, that's fine, because I think you have other encounters.
So Swamp Dog has been dealing with a Dogman encounters. Let me say this: it's multiple, to a point where a Dogman actually physically attacked his wife to a point where he shot at it.
This is also in West Virginia?
No, this is in New Jersey.
Okay, New Jersey.
This is in New Jersey where he's at. There's actually, if you go on to the Cryptid Podcast on one of the live videos from last year, there's an episode when we were live where he actually had Dogman surrounding his vehicle. You can actually see the creature's eyes behind his vehicle during the live when we were talking, because he was actually on there talking to Daniel about the encounter of the Dogman grabbing his wife. And in the midst of talking about that, his vehicle actually was getting surrounded by them. And then we noticed the eyes shining behind the vehicle, looking into the vehicle. And then he saw something run in the woods. He went out with his camera into the woods, and actually there was a still shot that you could kind of see the creature running into the woods where he was at. And these Dogmen, it's not one, it's 3 of them, have been terrorizing him and his wife now for about a year. And it's still ongoing. He even had one come to his house. This is the part that really gets bad, because it came to his house. It walked up into his yard, and he's dealing with some people. I don't really want to specifically say, because it's not really my place to say the people he's talking to that are actually were helping him with this. But let's just say one of them, I'll say one works for animal control, because they do.
Okay.
Because some other stuff happened where he's at that they reached out to him for help.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he called the animal control guy to his house saying, hey, you need to come to my house. This thing's here. The guy comes to the house and it actually just walks out right in front of both of them. And apparently it mind spoke to Swamp Dog and told him, we will always be here and we will never leave. And a portal opened up in his yard and it walked into the portal and disappeared.
Jeez. What part of New Jersey?
Then there was...
Like, you don't have to give the town, just like northeast, northwest, southwest. What is...
It's near Philly. It's not far from Philly.
So is that like Pine Barrens area?
It's near the Pine Barrens.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very close to the Pine Barrens.
See, I think that place, there's something about that place. Like, I'm not trying to brag,
the
but
Pine Barrens is a...
yeah, I'm not trying
I'm a truck driver by trade, so I've driven out there, and I don't even like being out there during the day.
Yeah, dude, there's something about that place. I mean, there's certain places in this country that you go to that are just like, when you get there, it's like, what's going on? And that's one of them. He's
saying southern New Jersey.
Southern New Jersey, okay.
But, yeah, but he's been dealing with these Dogman for about a year now, and now it's getting to the point where some other things are happening that he is now being watched, not just by the Dogman, by other people.
Yeah,
and
I think that's why he said why he didn't want to call in, because there was some kind of deal like that going on. But okay, so you sounded like you had another encounter. Is that true? Did I get that right? Did I pick up on that?
The other encounter happened about 3 weeks ago. Okay. I'm not specifically sure what I saw.
Right.
I guess he threw it out there, but I saw something. I was driving yet again back down on the road, and there was a car in front of me that was driving in front of me, and they hit their brakes really hard for some random reason. And I didn't understand why they were hitting their brakes, but for some reason I looked to my left and I saw a large bipedal like black shadow walking into the woods.
Okay.
And I don't know exactly what it was. I just know it was bipedal and it was huge, literally walking into the woods. And I caught that by the glimpse of my eye when I looked to the left. And I was wondering why the person in front of me kept they were slamming the brakes at that moment. It was different. I didn't react the way I did when I saw my initial encounter with Bigfoot and everything, because I think I couldn't really make out exactly what I just knew. It was a big bipedal shadow walking into the woods. But what I've learned in the area where I'm at is that people around here, when I've told them I've had the Bigfoot encounter, they're not surprised. They actually seem pretty chill about it. And they're like, okay, yeah, we know. But they won't say anything.
Right.
But they'll tell me about their other encounters they've had around here, which, I had a lady tell me about, she heard clicking sound behind her house.
Oh, shit.
Not far from my house, actually. It's only about 5 miles from my house. And when me and her were talking, I was actually on the phone talking to Swamp Dog, and I was in the Dollar General, and he goes, hey, ask that lady if she's ever had an encounter. I was like, all right, whatever. So I asked her while I was on the phone with him, and she just started going into this detail about she saw a very skinny, large black creature on 4 legs run across the street. It scared her really bad. She said it looked like a big black cat. And then she brought up the whole clicking sound because she lives near the river. And she said where she lives at near the river's there. And then there's like woods on the other side of where it's at. She kept hearing something moving in the woods, and she heard this really loud clicking, and it startled her. And yet again, I did the same imitation of the clicking sound, and her eyes opened up, and she's like, what is that? And I was like, I don't know. And then I asked her a couple of questions, and yet again, I'm on the phone with Swamp Dog. He's listening to this whole conversation so he could verify it. And I said, well, do you have caves where you live at? And she said on the mountainside on the other side of the river, there are a lot of caves. So I found some information about that. I kind of want to go out and look more around that area and find some things out. But another lady I spoke to in town here told me up where she lives up in the mountain, she hears a lot of screaming. Sounds like a wailing lady. especially during the summer. She said it's the worst.
Right.
So there's a lot of stuff going on around here.
It sounds like it,
trying
brother.
to figure it out.
Well, brother, listen, you've got my contact, and you are always welcome to call back on this show because I know everybody. I got people in the chat saying, let's go help him. But, you know, if you ever want to call back in, if you got some other stuff going on, please, by all means, you know, we're moving the call-in show to Wednesday night, so it won't be done. I'm still going to take call-ins, but you can come on as a guest, too, if you want to, you know. So up to you, brother, but I do appreciate you calling in tonight, man.
No, I appreciate you having me on. And like I said, you know, I've had my encounters. I've had a lot of things happen in my life, from paranormal to non, you know, and things that have gone on throughout my childhood. But things, I guess, are just becoming more and more prevalent with sightings and encounters. And, you know, with me talking to people now and people talking and opening up about it, you know, it just goes into what I'm learning more and more about.
Right.
You know, and I think my thing right now is I've been trying to talk to more and more police around here to see what they've seen, because I know they know a lot.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
you know, I feel like they're going to have the most information.
Because when it gets reported, people talk about it at the station, man, and nobody has their pulse on the community better than the police officers. Just gonna be honest.
Yep.
They know where all the crackheads are. They know where the rich people at. They know everything. So,
well, I can tell you one thing before I jump off.
Yeah,
that
brother.
Officer I spoke to,
Mm-hmm.
there was another encounter he told me about. When he was telling me initially about the whole missing person thing, he said that when he was younger, he saw Mothman. I did not jump into that question with him when he brought it up until he took me home. And when he took me home, I asked him, I said, hey, can you tell me about the Mothman experience that you said you saw? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I was a young kid. He goes, I went down to my backyard. He goes, and up in the tree, I saw this large figure with very large red eyes staring at me. He goes, but he goes, the figure was so black that it felt like all the light around it was just being sucked into a void. And it was just that black. Like there was no describing on how dark this creature was. He said it's like when it moved, the light around it was just being pulled in. He goes, and it freaked him out and it disappeared.
Wow. That is insane. So how far, because this isn't in New Jersey, this is in West Virginia, right?
This was in West Virginia. He actually lived in Point Pleasant.
Oh, so this was in Point Pleasant.
At the time when he saw that. Yes, this was in Point Pleasant.
Yeah, so
this was when he was a kid. So that would bring him very close to when all that stuff went down.
Oh, okay. But hey, you know, when I went to Point Pleasant, that was the thing I was most shocked about is people are still experiencing the Mothman today. You know what I mean? That shit's still going on.
People
up there.
do. People still see it up there.
So, well, brother, thank you so much for calling in. And like I said, please keep us updated on your findings and any of the other weird stuff that may come your way.
Thank you, sir.
All
you
right,
have a good
buddy.
night.
You too, bro. All right. Wow, we've had a couple really good calls. That's weird. Crawlers? Yeah, no, thank you. I'm not sure what I would do in that situation. Some people in the chat said something about Mammoth Cave expedition. We were going to do a Mammoth Cave thing. We're going to do like a kayak trip. We can't do that and like have people come on it because then you got to be a guide. However, I love Mammoth Cave. That place is wild. And I'll be honest with you, I'd rather go there than the LBL. So we may switch that expedition to not the LBL, but Mammoth Cave, because seriously, Mammoth Cave got some shit going on. Just from looking at it. You know. So let me turn the lines back on. There was something I wanted to say, and I've absolutely forgot about it. I don't know what it was. Oh, well. Maybe it'll come back to me. Maybe it won't. Who knows? Got another call coming in. Let's see. You're on the Bigfoot Underground.
Hey, Stacy, this is Brian.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing. Just got home from work.
Hell yeah.
So I just want to let you know, no one stole your identity on Facebook lately. So just want to put that out there.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but then like my wife's damn card got hacked, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like fraud department. And then I was trying to pay for something today, and my bank's like, "Whoa!" And I'm like, "Well, it's me," but whatever.
That's the second time. And I'm gonna bring, not to sound kind of some way, but I actually know those people. So everything that I sent that person, I can actually contact them. It's not a problem because I went to school with some of them. So yeah, when you got contacts, it makes a big difference, and they tend to leave you alone real quick when you start sending them information like I did.
Right. Well, what you got going on, man?
So I've encountered something lately that I think it's beneficial to know about it. Something that I've never encountered before in my life. And my situation lately, so a lot of people talk about stress, and I just realized through experience that stress can do a lot of stuff to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been under stress for about 70 days. And everybody knows about that. What I do for a living, you know, we've I don't know when I'm going to get my next check. So that'll put a stress on you, not knowing where money's coming from. So I've been dealing with this for 70 days, but I've always had a upbeat attitude about it.
Right.
You know, everything's going to be all right. So the other night, it was just 2 nights ago, actually, I'm laying in bed, and my dog sleeps on my bed with me and my wife. And, you know, the stories about the ancestors having a dog sleep with them. And I've seen animals react in paranormal environments before. So I have a dog with me. The dog's going to tell me a lot. So I'm laying there in bed, and all of a sudden I hear this loud metallic sound. And at the end of the metallic sound, I hear like that. And I went from dead asleep to more awake than if you would have woken up naturally. Just like a shot of adrenaline went through my body. So I look at the dog, and the dog's like, nothing's going on. So I get up, and I'm like looking around, because this was a loud sound. I'm talking about like a car had hit the house. It was a metallic sound that loud. So I get up, I start looking around, and it's bothering me yesterday. And I'm like, something's going on. Is this, you know, so I start looking it up on Google. And the reason why I called in is because I want to let everybody know this is a thing. There is a syndrome called exploding head syndrome. Have you ever heard of that?
Hell no.
I have not either. And I looked it up. Of course, the Google knows, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So I looked it up on Google. There is a syndrome out there that when you are, even if you don't feel like you're under stress, your body is. And the mind will create this sound. And it's documented. It's actually a clinical thing. You can go look it up, exploding head syndrome. And I thought to myself, now, wait a minute. If this is an actually documented clinical thing that could happen to a person because of the environment they're in, how many times have people been in a haunted house because they were woken up by a big sound, or in the woods, they hear a metallic sound, they wake up and they think, wait a minute, something paranormal just happened. And I wanted to share that because I want to let everybody know that your mind can do freaky things. And I never in my life had experienced that until just the other day. I didn't even know it was a thing and it was possible, but apparently it is. So
how will your head actually explode?
It felt like it.
Oh, okay.
Sound wise, I mean, imagine if somebody put headphones on you and played a loud metallic sound and you woke up. That's what it was. It was freaky as crap. And I woke up with a speeding heartbeat, and I woke up like, holy crap, something just bad just happened in this house.
Right.
And until I did the research, it's like, what? Your brain will actually do that. Apparently it will. So I've thought back to some of the times where, I've been asleep and stuff. I've never had that happen. Never in my life. Now I'll hear noises and it'll wake me up. That's not what I'm talking about. This sound is on the inside of your head. That's what got me so, upset, and it was freaky because it sounded like it was coming from inside of me, and it was. It wasn't an external sound. It was an internal sound.
Right.
So just, for those people out there that ever had that happen to them, number one, hope it don't happen to you because it is a freaky thing, but it is clinical. I mean, I looked it up and there's actually treatments for it because I guess people suffer from this.
Yeah.
Some people suffer from it. But, yeah. And also, I also wanted to call in. A lot of people have been contemplating what the Dogman and the Bigfoot and all that stuff. I've noticed that it's more.
Hold on 1 second,
now.
brother. My light just died, and I realized I never plugged it in. 1 second, just 1 second. Where are we at here? Talk about exploding head syndrome.
Yeah.
My mind was about to explode. I was like, oh no, why is everything dark?
Well, at least it wasn't a Dogman doing it, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So I've noticed there's more and more stories like your last caller there talking about more and more people are starting to encounter things.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, some of them are going to be just weird or attention seekers, but this is going beyond that. Another thing that I've heard with the Mothman thing is this darkness that sometimes it absorbs light.
Right.
I'm starting to put things together and it's like, wait a minute. Recently, we've had like 13 scientists either come up dead or go missing.
Mm-hmm.
What were they working with? Dark energy, UFO type stuff, some of the fringe science stuff that actually mainstream scientists would call woo-woo.
Yep.
But the government knows exactly what they're working on. And I thought to myself, what if this dark matter leads them into that? And they don't want people knowing about that because these scientists are going to come out and say, hey, guess what I found out? And they don't want it being brought out sooner than it's going to be. I believe, now this is just the gospel according to me, but I believe that these things they're going to hit the mainstream. They're going to hit the mainstream soon. And all these people that never believed in any of this stuff is going to start seeing these things in broad daylight, out in the public. And when it gets to that point, society is just going to flip. And when it gets to that point, I personally believe, and like I said, this is my opinion, things are allowed to be here for a reason. And I believe that we are a lot closer to the last days than what we might think we are.
Well, I hope you're wrong, brother, because then there would be no Wednesday shows either, people. If Dogman starts showing up on the streets, there's not going to be no Sunday shows. There ain't going to be no damn Wednesday shows either. So
it would go from a Wednesday show to a support group.
Yeah, right.
Everybody would be seeing these things. But I've noticed too that a lot of the comments that I'm hearing from these encounters, they always say, I prayed and something, I was able to move, or I prayed and it left me alone. There's a connection there. And I got to thinking the other day, what if these things are allowed to be here? Because in the last days, a third of mankind will be killed off. What could 2 12-foot Sasquatches do in a small town?
Shit.
They would destroy
whatever
it.
The hell they wanted to.
Now, the good thing is, and I found this out when I was doing paranormal investigations, it started to come to light to me that there's not really haunted places. There's haunted people.
Oh, yeah.
And like, for instance, if you got something that's in a house and it might be happening when you're gone, but you only know it if you have a camera there. And I thought, wait a minute, these things are haunting the people, not the place. So I kind of wonder if maybe some people are more susceptible to a bad encounter than others, because there is that little spark inside certain people where it will say, I can only go so far. I don't need to cross the line with this one.
Right. Yeah. I think it's, me personally, I think it's just one big phenomenon, and some people experience it because most people have had a Bigfoot encounter or a ghost encounter. They've also have a UFO encounter, or, what I mean? It's like they experience multiple weird and odd things. And then you have other people who just never experience a damn thing. And so I think this shit is here all the time. We're just allowed to see it sometimes, and it's only certain people that are allowed. I fear the day that veil breaks and everybody's allowed to see this shit. I really do, because you're going to have a lot of people, like you look at what happened on Black Monday and other times. Like, I think people will start taking their lives.
Yeah.
I hope not.
That's exactly what I think will happen, because I lived through Hurricane Michael. I was in Callaway, and Callaway was utterly destroyed. People were actually spray painting street names on the road so you would know where you are, because you didn't know where you were. The entire environment was gone. And I know a lot of times I'd be up and you'd hear gunshots in the neighborhood. Everybody was carrying a firearm, on their hip.
Yeah.
And it just turned into the Wild West. And I got to see society flip. But there was that little spark, that little group that they were watching out for each other. They were checking on their neighbors. There were reports of guys with AR-15s doing road patrol, and the cops were like leaving them alone, and they were making sure. So you have both sides to it, but the majority, they just lost it. And it was amazing to watch how they lost it over internet.
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi went down, and it's like, what are we going to do? I told my wife, I said, honey, this is 1989 all over again. I'm good. I mean, you don't go on a man's property in the dark, you'll get shot. You don't have a telephone to call somebody in your pocket. That's where I grew up. And I had to make a bear fence on my yard so people wouldn't cross from yard to yard and get into my stuff.
Well, hey, I'm going to throw this out to you because I got another podcast I'm starting, and we're starting to film some shows in May. And it's called Still Here. And it's about people that survived any kind of things. I got one person I'm interviewing who got left on top of a mountain. I got another person who got kidnapped. I got some other people that survived some tornadoes. If there's anybody in the chat, or if you yourself would like to be interviewed about that experience, surviving, especially if you stayed during the storm, I would love to hear that story.
My people that I went to church with did stay.
Yeah.
In fact, the Catholic church next to my church, their roof came out and landed in front of the church. It was that bad. We went to Alabama, but I'm gonna tell you what, the aftermath was, I would say it wasn't as bad as the storm,
right?
But it was pretty bad. I mean,
one of the ladies I'm talking to on this show, one of her family members died, and in the house during the thing, they were dependent on oxygen, and it took 7 days for the National Guard to clear the road so that somebody could get to them.
So I don't know if you can get a hold of them, but there was a radio show that was on Facebook, and I went out to Destin Commons, and they were gathering up gasoline, and I talked to a couple of these guys, and they interviewed me, and it was like 500,000 hits because I was talking about the very thing that we're talking about right now, how people really came together. And they said that they had a group, the tour helicopters that tour up and down the beach. Well, I guess some old veterans own some of these helicopters, and they were going around and looking for outskirts, the neighbors that were blocked in by the debris, and they would call the chainsaw army and say, here they are. Now, that wasn't the government. That was us, we the people, doing that for each other. He also told me about a story about how the churches would go out and do food banks, mobile food banks, and they had a couple guys with guns come out and actually hold them up and take the food. I personally, with the church that I was with, I wanted to go out to Tent City and drop a delivery out there. I'd gotten a delivery from a bunch of diapers because nobody ever thinks about diapers. I got them out of Perry, Florida. They drove all the way over here and I dispersed them to the church. And the pastor told me, he said, brother, you can't do that. I said, why not? He says, because a man that's hungry will hurt you. A man with a hungry child will kill you.
Right.
That's something that unless you've been there and seen that side of society, I personally think when all this woo-woo stuff kicks on, the aliens, Bigfoot, and Dogmen will be second to what humanity will do to each other. I honestly think that because I've seen the underbelly of people and it can get really bad really quick. But there's a lot of little things that you can do to help yourself through those times. But these guys that are gathering all this ammunition, brother, who do you think the government's going to come through first?
Yeah.
Who do you think's going to get? Don't go around telling people I got this many guns. I got this. Don't just keep that mess to yourself because you're the first one they're going to hit when it kicks off. But yeah, I just wanted to call in. I think that we're really close right now. Do you think that these things are going to come out as more on the spiritual side? I think the things with the UFOs, the government is now getting more and more vocal about it because they know how close it is. I think that the grays and all this stuff, I think that is a golem.
Right.
Now, I said, this is all my opinion. I think that's a golem. I think that the skinwalkers, the Wolfman, the Bigfoot, the aliens, they are on that side of it. And I think that there are certain people that they can't touch.
I think you're right about that.
And when everyone figures out the why they can't touch them, that's the only safety you're going to have.
I think one of them is MC Hammer, and that's what his song was about. Can't touch us.
Don't touch this.
It's just before his time.
and buying the pajamas is not going to help you.
No, it's not. Well, brother,
right, brother.
Hey, thank you so much for calling in, man. That's very interesting about the head explosion thing.
Yes, I just want to let everybody know if you have that happen to you, go on Google. It eased my mind a little bit that I wasn't crazy and that something didn't happen to me like that, but that it's a clinical thing. I've only experienced something similar to that one time. And I do think that was spiritual. I was in Tallahassee at the mall in the 90s. And this is back when the mall was actually the mall, not what it is now.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sitting there with this girl that my mama did not appreciate at all. And I heard everything went quiet in the mall except my mama saying my name. And that stuck with me all my life. And I found out later that she had been praying for me that whole time. So, hey, the last two guests you've had on, the guy that had the stuff going on, the ex-cop, that was an awesome show, by the way. And that's something that if you do a follow-up, dude.
He's coming back on, and I think here's another reason for me getting rid of the Sunday shows. Because now I'm getting, dude, I have since November, since starting this damn call-in show, you figure every call-in show I'm getting 3 or 4 or 5 calls, people's reports.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And my emails, I'm getting 50 emails a week. It's too much for me to deal with. But, I think I'm going to go to his place. I think I'm going to go up there for a weekend and live stream and do a lot of, see what we can find. Shit. But he is going to come in for a part 2.
Okay. Awesome. Have you in Flat Rock got anything going on pretty soon, or did you already?
We've got our recorders out at his place. We had to buy some new recorders. We started this project and I had all these recorders that I had made, long duration recorders, and we put them out, and the worst luck ever. We set 4 recorders out. We got 5 hours. 3 of them were all of them were turned off, by the way. Not sure how the hell that worked.
Yeah.
But one of them was taken out of the hole it was in a tree and slung down the ravine. So I don't know.
Ain't that a coinky dink?
Yeah. So we went with another product, a professional bird, recording thing. We placed them out there, but we're just over the next year, we're going to be looking at that place and, spending a lot of time out there trying to get some data because it is one of the more active spots.
So there's another thing that I thought about the other day that might be beneficial to you when you're doing your investigations. So after Hurricane Michael, I became a ham radio operator.
Mm-hmm.
And, the show Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, yeah.
I used to watch that when I didn't have to pay for it. But anyway, they had this signal come over their receivers at 1.6 gigahertz. Now, I know a ghost hunter. He's in the Mariana area, and he came up to me out of the blue one day. I worked with him. He says, "You ever heard anything going on about 1.6 gigahertz?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? What do you mean?" I was like thrown back a little bit. He's like, "Dude, we keep getting a signal in these hauntings of 1.6 gigahertz." I was like, "That frequency is for satellite military stuff. That's way beyond what is normally used." Skinwalker Ranch also gets 1.6. And I'm thinking some of these receivers, and I can think of it, remind me, I'll send you a link.
Please do.
To them. And if you can pick up a 1.6 gig signal when this stuff's going on, that might be one more thing to investigate. I thought about that. I was like, okay, but remind me, I'll send it to you on the face, on a chat, thing, the thing, the thing.
Yeah, the thing.
Hell, I'm Amish sometimes, excuse me. But, I'll send it to you. And it's just a little antenna. You set the little box there and you turn it 1.6 gigs and it's just a receiver. Yeah. It's might be something, a little tool in your tool belt, because that's something they can't move and throw down a ravine.
Right. Well, yeah, buddy,
right,
send me that stuff, man. And thanks for calling in, bro.
Yes, sir.
All
you
right.
have a good night.
You too, buddy. All right, everybody. Okay, here we are. The final 14 minutes of the Sunday show, the Sunday call in. The lines are back open. If anybody wants to call, we'll go on about 14, maybe 20 minutes. We'll do one more call. It's going to be bittersweet. I'm going to miss these Sundays, and maybe they'll come back, but I got a bunch of stuff coming up, a bunch of stuff going on. Remember I told y'all I took the executive producer from The Proof Is Out There, took him out Bigfooting. He's a showrunner, makes a bunch of TV shows. We're going to work on something. It's going to be cool. We're going to see how it goes. But yeah, super excited about that. All kinds of mods needed. I got to look into that. I don't know what mods are. I really don't. If y'all knew my IQ on this shit, you'd be like, bro, how are you sitting up here in front of this many people doing a show and you don't know jack shit about what's going on? But if I can figure it out, I always wanted to add some mods. It would help because I have a problem replying as I'm taking the interviews. Somebody just called, but I didn't see the call. Please call back. California, please call back. Okay, here we go. New York. You're on the Bigfoot Underground. Oh, they hung up. Okay. Call back again. Don't know what happened there. I did pick the phone up. Call back. Call back, brother. (626). You can call back. Okay, here we go. New York again. You're on the Bigfoot Underground. Hello. They keep hanging up when they call. I don't know what's going on. Last time. Are you there? Do we got you this time? Damn, they hung up again. Okay. Camden, New Jersey. Here we go. Different caller. You're on the Bigfoot Underground.
Hello. Are you there? Who got you this time?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, who's it? Nathan?
Yes.
Hey, man, how you doing, brother?
Doing all right.
Yeah, I was just on the phone with one of your callers, my buddy, the one from West Virginia.
Okay. Is this Swamp Dog?
Swamp Dog. Yes, sir. Yeah. A lot of people know me. I've been on many podcasts. I've been like on Bigfoot Society, all the way up to Cryptid Podcast, and Mysteries Unknown with Josh and everything. And a lot of people know me like in the cryptid world. But yeah, I'm not gonna get into it because my story is a long story, and I just started having problems because I was dealing with animal control and I was dealing with a conservation officer.
Okay.
And it turns out that, they were kind of using me for what I know and what I do. And, I mean, it makes the story short. I get a couple government vehicles driving down my road, and I know who they are. And it's just a big thing. That's why I say, if you want me to come on your podcast and do a show about it, I'll do it, because I'm going to put these guys on blast in case something happens to me.
Well, you should.
That's the reason why I'm doing it.
You should. And
that's the reason. I don't know if you know Trish from Monsters Unleashed and her dad, Michael Webb and all that. And Trish Collins from Monsters Unleashed, they know all about it too. So.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm the one that's been having, for the past, a little over 2 years now, I've been having your Dogman encounters.
Mm-hmm.
My wife was the one that was attacked, and I shot it 4 times before I let my wife go. If you want to go like on, I guess, the Cryptid Podcast or like on Mysteries Unknown, you can hear that story.
Brother.
I got.
Go ahead.
I got a lot of people that help me out and all that stuff, and.
Well, go ahead and shoot me an email, man, and let's plan for like a Wednesday night. That way we can.
All right. It's going to take a couple hours because every time I do a show about my encounters, it takes at least 2 hours. I'm just letting you know. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Like I said, everybody knows me from Bigfoot Society. I talk to people in Alaska, California, other countries, the UK and all that, and
okay.
But yeah, I'm going through some stuff right now, and the past 2 years I've been going through some heavy stuff, and it's just, I don't know. I just wish I never went through this stuff before, but
right,
it is what it is. But
well, brother,
yeah, I'll shoot you an email.
Yeah, please do, and we'll give you a few hours, and then we'll have some, because that's going to be a 3-hour show, so you can have the floor.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I schedule my Wednesdays are going to move to 3 hours, so it's supposed to be a guest and then call in. So if you want to hang around and answer people's questions, that'll be fine too.
Oh yeah. I do that all the time when I go on a podcast. People ask me questions, and I answer the questions best I can. But
cool, brother.
Well, I get a lot of people. They message me and call me because they got problems on their property, or they come in encounter and they call me for help, and they always ask me what they should do and all that stuff. So not only that I'm going through this stuff, I'm also helping other people. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah.
Well, brother, shoot me that email, man.
Yeah. I will.
All right, buddy. I appreciate it, man.
So, okay, man. Nice talking to you, brother.
You too, buddy. Bye-bye. Awesome. That's going to be a cool show. He's got a lot of encounters. Thing had your old lady and you shot it. Hey, I guess you got to do what you got to do, bro. That's wild, though. That is so crazy. Okay, so we got 6 minutes. I'll go a little bit longer. Let's take one more call. One more call on this Sunday evening, and then we'll wind it down. The lines are open. 850-695-0522. Give me a call. It's been a good show tonight, man. Not a lot of dead air, not a lot of me ranting. Please, everybody, if y'all will go to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, whatever it is, look up the Bigfoot Underground. Please like it, subscribe, leave a review. That would be great. Help us grow this show, because once those people find out we got a call in, we'll have more call-ins, and the call-ins seriously are the coolest damn thing. I love it. Like, you know, because you never know what you're going to get. Okay. California's called back. You're on the Bigfoot Underground.
Hello?
How you doing?
Oh, good. Just want to make sure everything went through. I don't know why the call didn't go.
I don't know what happened either, man. But we got you now. So what can we do for you?
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. I'm just calling real quick. I wanted to know if you were going to do the live call-in for the Capturing Bigfoot. I missed that live show. I had a quick question.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Do you think, why is it that Bob Gimlin, do you think if he made it up, right, are we just waiting for the for the documentary to just release, and then he would make a statement? Because if it's fake, wouldn't he be in trouble for some kind of fraud, or wouldn't the Pattersons get in trouble for any money trouble since it's all a lie? You know what I mean?
No, the way the court would look at that, which they've done in other cases, you believed in Bigfoot. So it's kind of your own damn fault. You know what I mean? And they haven't frauded anybody personally, right? Just because they fooled you, you lost no money in the deal. The TV shows that licensed it, and see, this is my biggest gripe with it, right? So people...
Yeah, I'm just confused, yeah. It's not like I'm mad or anything, I'm just confused.
Yeah, I get you. But, people are saying, yeah, it's a money grab, but it's like the Patterson film has been getting money year after year after year from...
Right, and I thought it was
channels
public
all over.
Domain. I don't know.
It's not public domain until 2062, because when they filed for copyright, you got 95 years back then. So till 2062, they can still make licensing money. So it makes no sense for them to go ahead and say that the Patterson Gimlin film's fake, because now they'll get no more licensing fees. Surely History Channel's not about doing another show on it in a couple years, or the network in Germany or wherever, because there's like 185 countries that do this kind of shit. It's not just America. Like the Patterson Gimlin film will get screened in Vietnam. You know what I'm saying? There's money coming worldwide, right? Yeah, but in that instance, there would be no fraud, because all you did was provide content, and you're going to sit there and either pick it apart or say how real it is. Either way, you got your content, you sold your ads, so it helped you, if anything. And so I don't think there's anybody that's I don't think there's anybody that was personally frauded out of the deal, unless it would have to be somebody who didn't get paid and they had rights. They had rights to the film. So I don't know, but there would be no, if it does come out as a hoax, there's no legal ramifications. It's just more of a, damn, bud, you've lied to us this whole time. And, it's what it is. And that's what I tell you.
I know.
I haven't seen the film. I don't know. I mean, I personally believe that the Patterson Gimlin film may be fake, right? Just because
it can go either or. That's the crazy thing about it. It's been so long, and I never had an encounter, but I've been into the subject for a long time.
Right.
And I always thought it was genuine.
Yeah.
I know that you said one time you're colorblind, but that doesn't even matter. Like the way that it moves, I've seen how they move in costumes. They have to look down to see where they're going, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, of course, out there in Bluff Creek, because I've been to the area, it's not just like walking on the sidewalk.
No, and I'm not sure how easy it would be to do something like that, to be in a costume and not make it look like like you're looking where you're going, and then you have to do that turn, and it's only like 20 seconds or something like that.
Right. But if you've rehearsed it, 100 times, if you've crafted everything right, it could be easier. I'm just interested to see it. Either way it comes out. If you're left with a feeling that Patty's fake, it doesn't mean Bigfoot's fake.
No, exactly. No, not at all.
It just means that this was a hoax, and if it was a hoax, it makes more sense now. Because this is what I tell everybody. Like, here's my problem with the shit. Like with Dave Shealy's footage, with a lot of these pieces of footage that are daytime footage, Bigfoot don't walk out in the fucking open. Like everything that I know about these creatures, if they did, this would be done by now.
No. Here's the thing. Like, if it did, it would move in such an unnatural way, like the way I've heard it from multiple stories. The spider crawl, how they would go on all fours. Imagine seeing that in the Patterson-Gimlin. But the way that it moves, it does kind of move like a guy, like a person,
right?
Versus an unnatural thing with crazy body structure, like crazy. Like speed, right? Like how? Like I've heard a lot of people say that it moves so fast, like you can't even like by the time you blink, it's gone.
Right. And I hate it's tearing the community apart. You know what I mean? Like I lost probably 300-400 subscribers just because I made that video that you're referencing.
Sure, no, but that's terrible. Like people need to be more open-minded and look at everything from all sides of the story, all perspective, not one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, like I hate this shit has happened because honestly, I wanted to try and make the costume, and I wanted to try to recreate it because that for me personally,
you're not a.
Yeah, I wasn't there. That personally for me, if I could remake the costume and get really close to it. Get it looking really fucking close, then to me that would be like, okay, this is fake. Now I know. Or if it's real, then I'm not going to be able to put anything out that's remotely close. And if that's the case, I would be happy to fail because look, guys, hey, listen, I wasn't able to do this. I really tried to do this and I failed.
Exactly.
That means the shit's real. So the best of our evidence needs to be scrutinized the most. Because if Patty's real, when people try to hit at it and chip away at it and shit, they're going to fail if it's real. And if they fail, that strengthens our case. And
right. No, I think it's great. Like you should do your own, your costume and everything that you can do. Like, cause like what they had was probably minimal material. Again, they weren't like Hollywood, whatever. They weren't suit experts. So they worked with what they had back then. But do you think you would do a live call-in show when the documentary comes out?
Oh, absolutely. I plan on, once the documentary comes out, I plan on doing a live watch along, which you won't see it, but you'll just see me talking about it as I'm watching it, or maybe if it's out, everybody could start it at the same time, and we could all watch it together. And then that way people would know what I was commenting on. But I'm also, the director is going to come on the show once it gets closer to the release. So I'm going to have a live show with him and I'm going to let people ask him questions and I'm going to be like, yo, bro, some of these fucking people are going to be like mad as wet hornets, but just stay the course, because at the end of the day, people's emotional reactions, it just shows how
passionate people are.
Yeah. How passionate, because these people have been beat down their whole lives and told Bigfoot ain't real.
Oh yeah, I've heard it all. Yeah. I told you so or whatever.
Right. And then if Patty is proven fake, that's going to give those people more fuel to be like, Bigfoot was fake. You're just a liar. So I fucking hate it for the community. I hate it personally because if I end up, after I watch that film, if I believe that film was fake, I ain't gonna say another fucking word about that film ever again. I'm gonna take it out of my intro. But at the end of the day, it's gonna hurt my feelings because I wanted to go out there and try to do the shit myself too. I wanted to try to recreate it, which people have been so mad about me wanting to question it, and I don't get it. Like, people, we have to ask questions. We have to. Or we're going to spend the next 65 fucking years doing the same shit and getting no results, because that's where the Bigfoot community's at. We've spent 65 years or however long it's been since the Patterson film. We've spent that much time hunting Bigfoot looking for a primate, right? And the ball hasn't moved forward. We're hitting our heads. We're doing the same thing again and again and expecting different results. Now, if we find out this is fake, then the whole Bigfoot being an ape, that shit goes out the window, because now there's no proof of that. The only real proof the apers have is the Patterson film, right? And if you take that away, then hey, now I just want to get to the truth. I don't give a damn what it is, right? So like if we can get down into the weeds there and we're like, okay, hey, now there actually this thing might be paranormal. Now we can all at least maybe open our horizon some and start trying things in a different way. I just wish everybody would remove their fucking emotions from this subject. They would remove their preconceived notions and start over. And let's look at every single thing and let's go where the evidence takes us. It's the only way we're going to fucking prove this shit, unless we get the government to tell us. And good luck on that.
No, I agree. I just don't want to take too much of your time, but I want to ask you real quick too. What do you think, in your opinion, what could it be? Like, is there different answers for you, or is there like kind of one answer as to what the Sasquatch thing could be?
My opinion on the Sasquatch thing at this moment, my opinion on this shit changes. Okay, so what I say now may not be the same in 3 months. I may have a different experience in Canada that makes me think something else. But at this moment, this particular moment, I've done paranormal investigations. I've done Bigfoot investigations. I've done UFO shit, all this. Mm-hmm. In all that, I don't think there are no, how do you say, Sasquatch.
Wrong answer?
But I believe it's a phenomenon. Okay. And so because when you're ghost hunting, what do you do to contact the ghost? And if y'all haven't seen my film, The Conjuring House Experiments, it's on YouTube. Check it out. You'll see this in the film. We knock on the table. And what happens? Something in the house knocks back. We go to the woods. We knock on trees. Hoping a Bigfoot knocks back. But in the house, it's a ghost. In the woods, it's a Bigfoot. Right? When you have a Bigfoot encounter, usually everything goes fucking eerily quiet. You could tell something's wrong. The same shit happens when people have UFO encounters or ghost encounters or abductions, any of this shit. And so what I think is that the phenomena comes to you based on you, personally you. And then there's another part about if somebody's had a Bigfoot encounter, most likely they've fucking seen a UFO. They've had a ghost encounter, maybe seen a Dogman, seen some weird shit.
In the orb.
Yeah, anything. But they're having another experience with this phenomenon. Is just slightly different, and for some reason we're not putting together. These things are all connected, and so at the end of the day, I think in 50 years, 100 years, however long, probably after I'm gone, I think the phenomena will be explained. And I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the people. It's not the creatures that are special. It's the people. And why do certain people get to see these things? I think we have to figure that out. What is it with the people that are encountering all this shit in the witnesses, in that data? That's where the truth lies. If that makes sense. But that's where I feel we're at right now, So, as crazy as that sounds, that's where I think, because when I started this shit, I was looking for a giant, I was looking for a giant ape. And that's just not the case. Brother, I'm a good enough hunter. If it was just a giant ape, I'd have shot and killed that damn thing by now. Because I tried. I tried for years. I'm not proud of it, but I did try. And I couldn't do it. And that blows my mind. Because if I know you got something on your property and you want me to kill it, I can go kill it. I can hunt. There's people that professionally hunt that are far better at this shit than I am.
I was going to say that, yeah. It doesn't make sense how the best hunters, the best trackers in the world can't seem to find the one thing that we're all looking for, right?
Right. You know, and so there's something to it. It's not in a zoo. And because of that, there's got to be something more to it. What that is, I don't know.
Exactly, yeah.
But
whatever it is,
we're going to figure it out, or we're going to give it hell. You know, one of the two.
Do you think now, would you be for or against killing one?
I'm against killing anything, and that goes down to ants. Like after my experience at the Conjuring House, brother, like fishing is a issue with me. And I was a commercial fisherman. The way I value life now, I don't see that I don't have the right to remove anything from this reality we live in. That's how I feel, you know, and it sucks, you know, because I'll get bummed out when I go fishing. I'm like, I really don't want to, I'll make up some shit about it. I don't want to clean fish. Let's just throw them back.
Right, of course. No, I totally understand.
But yeah, I think somebody will hit it with a car. I don't think we have to kill it. We just have to get that person to not call local law enforcement. You know, there will be an 800 or a 900 number that I end up putting out, because there has to be a way for people to call immediately when these things happen to them. And I'd like to build a network to where, holy shit, somebody hit one in Waukena. I've got somebody that lives 30 minutes from there, and they can go check it out immediately. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hope so.
Because this whole contact the BFRO bullshit, you know, it's kind of, it's not done well. Oh, email us.
It's not the best.
No, it's not the best. It could be better. Things could be amped up, and nobody cares for it to be better. Nobody's like, hey, we're making money. We got our name out there. We don't really need any. Let's not rock the boats. Don't fix it if it ain't broke. You know what I mean? But it is broke. And this whole shit is broke. Everybody's working on their own things, and nobody's working together. And that's why I wish, like, even if you read the chats on this show during the live show, you'll see people arguing about beliefs. And it's like, guys, none of y'all fucking know. Quit talking in absolutes. We don't know. All we know, and this is one thing we should all agree on, is that these things are real. Okay, that's it. That's the only thing we know.
Without a doubt, exactly.
You know, and can we start from there together and be open-minded? Because, hey, you know what? That dude over there you think is a lunatic, he may be right. And you're going to be the person that didn't listen to him? This is a damn thing that, you know, scientists are bad about. And me and Rachel talked about it on her interview. You know, it's like, just because the guy's a mechanic and he drinks and he's a redneck, are you going to look away from him when he's telling you he's got these damn things slapping his mama's house every night? Or should you take him at his word and at least go look at the shit? You know, and that's people's own issues, that where they know better, you know, and we all have to realize we should learn something every day, because we don't, at the end of the day, know shit. I don't even know where my car keys are right now, brother. I know they exist. Where the hell they're sitting, I don't know. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on the whole thing. My little rant. Sorry, I went off the rails there for a minute.
No, that's okay. No, thank you. I really appreciate your show, and I love that you do the call-in. I just don't have an encounter. I just wanted to take a little bit of your time.
Are you good, brother? Well, hey, man, you are the last Sunday call-in that we will get for at least a long time. We're moving this to Wednesdays. And I really appreciate you calling in, even if you got questions, man. That's another thing, listeners. Y'all don't have to have an encounter to call in. If you just got questions, want to bounce some stuff off of me, feel free.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Marcus in the chat, by the way. I'm from Los Angeles, California.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah. How's the weather out there, brother?
It's actually kind of stormy. It's a little cloudy, a little rain last night, but otherwise it's sunny.
Brother, we ain't got no rain here, and we're like 20-something inches below. It's the worst drought of the 21st century.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So, but anyways, brother, hey, don't be a stranger. If you want to call in the future, feel free.
Yeah, of course. No, thank you for taking my call. I can talk for hours. different topics. Bigfoot, Dogman, doesn't matter. Aliens.
Right on. Well, yeah, feel free, man. Call us back in the future.
Thank you. Much well. Hope you have a good one.
You too, buddy. Bye-bye. All right, everybody. Pop Smoke. As soon as me and MK can coordinate the dates, he's coming on. I know you've been asking that question, and I meant to answer it. But so, as somber as it is, this is the last Sunday call-in show. We are moving into Wednesdays. We're just going to make the Wednesday episode bigger. And that's going to be our time slot. We're going to have every Sunday or Wednesday, hopefully every Wednesday, I will have a guest. And then we will do call-ins as well. And if I can get it figured out, you'll be able to ask the person that is the guest questions if you'd like. But anyways, once again, y'all please go look the Bigfoot Underground up on your podcast. Even if you don't listen to the podcast, it'll take you 3 minutes. Go leave us a review, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Going to start pushing some stuff out that way. But thank you all so much for tuning in and hanging out with us for the 2 hours and 16 minutes and 25 seconds so far that we have been rolling. Wednesdays will start at the same time, 8 p.m. Eastern, and it will run till 11 p.m. Eastern. And I think I'm going to have to load something on the show because bathroom breaks are going to have to be a thing for me. You get over your 40s and that bladder don't work like it used to be, boys. So, I'll load something so I can get a quick PP in. And, but anyways, hey, this Wednesday, raffling off 2 tickets for the next expedition. We got Zuli coming on, talk about some alien stuff, maybe a near-death experience. Who knows what it is? I think it might be an abduction, but we will see. We're going to get down in the weeds on that one. But anyways, everybody, thank you all so much. I really mean it. It means a lot to me. And if y'all haven't subscribed already, please do hit that like button. Leave a comment on this. So on this video, I know y'all are commenting in the chats, but leave a comment on the video if you don't mind. If anything, you can just tell me how nice my hair looks because it does look great, people. Anyways, just use a catheter. Buck up. Yeah, okay. Okay, buddy. Y'all have a good night. And as always, stay safe and stay squatchy.